Everyone, Zeddy here today, and I have the promised deck guide to Mage, my newest addiction in Standard, the tier 2-3 deck that I just can't stop playing and can't stop getting top 100 Legend with. A little bit of a humble brag, but yeah, wanted to highlight, give some people some pointers. I get questions about the deck all the time, so let's give yourselves a guide to try and follow, try and navigate this deck so you can successfully win some games. So, we're going to start with, as normal, we're going to start with the deck objective or strategy, what the deck, what it wants to do, how you win games, all that. We'll then go over the mulligan guide, what you want to keep in your opener throughout to beat your opponents. Then I'll suggest some deck replacements if there's a couple of cards you don't have, what you can maybe put in there. And then I will offer some budget options if you're missing a key legendary or epic. So, what does the deck want to do? Well, you want to cheat mana on your spells with your Incanter's Flow, and then you want to stall the game, clear your opponent's board, freeze it, do all the things you gotta do, and then you kind of want to win the game with tempo, with value. You have Magic Trick, you have Font of Power, you have Evocation, you get tempo with Apexis Blast, with Power of Creation, you can do a giant board sweep with Reno, clearing anything and at any point with the big poof, and then you might get value out of your Reno Mage spell or the random spells, or you make it completely screwed over. It's kind of a coin flip. I hate the aspect of the card, but unfortunately it's kind of core. And then as the game goes on, you basically, if it's a slower matchup, you're just going to control them down, run them out of resources, fatigue them, and eventually kill them with all of your generated value, burn, and etc. The deck typically shines against mid-game strategies or more control-ish late-game decks, and it does have a fighting chance against aggro, as you do have some premium removal, you do have some armor gain, and you can cheat out minions with taunt. It struggles against aggro as well, obviously, but one of the other matchups it struggles against are other greedy decks that just outvalue you, such as Reno Mage or Res Priest, or sometimes like a Highlander Control Warrior. They just have, every card seems to be a value bomb, and our deck isn't. So you kind of have finite resources at times, and you run out of value. But overall, I find this deck to be super fun. It has a fighting chance, basically, in any matchup, and when played well, can get you really good results. I've hit top 100 Legend with it in back-to-back days. I've also fallen out of top 100 Legend with it back-to-back days, so keep that in mind. Is it a great Legend climb deck? Probably not, but it probably can get you there. If you're facing a very aggressive meta, though, you may want to stray away from it, but overall, it's a super fun deck, and I definitely recommend it. So, you've decided to play Mage. What is the mulligan strategy? What cards do you always keep in any matchup? Any matchup. Well, Learn Draconic is an auto keep. This is the 1 mana side quest. When you have spent, I believe, 8 mana on spells, you get a 6/6 dragon. And typically this is completed around turns 4 and 5, which really curves into Apexis Blast very well. And it allows you to get that board swing. You've usually cleared the board or done a good job of neutralizing things with Flame Ward, and then you get the 6/6, and then you start pushing tempo. So even against aggro, yes, turn 1 do nothing isn't great, but that 6/6 is going to do a hell of a lot to help you stabilize down the road. The next card you always keep in any matchup is Ancient Mysteries. It's a great turn 2 play. You play it, you draw a secret, and if you get like Flame Ward, you can hold it to when you want to clear the board. It could be immediately, it can be later. Or you get Barrier, and again, you can hold it and wait. Maybe you want to play your random minion generator. You might get a Flak Mage, and you might be able to utilize it. So, unless you absolutely need to play the secret, hold it, but Ancient Mysteries on 2 is always a solid play. And against the slower decks, it's fine, because you're drawing cards. You need to draw, and you want to thin your deck out of cards like secrets that you don't want to be top decking. So, good keep against everything. And then the last card that is an auto keep is Incanter's Flow. This is one of the new cards to the deck, and it makes all the spells in your deck cost 1 less. You play it on 2, you've typically only have drawn 5 cards, so you're getting 25 mana cheat, or 24 if you haven't drawn Reno yet. That is insane value, and against the aggressive decks is vital to your success at winning. You gotta scam them, and what better way to scam them than mana cheat out some big stuff. So definitely keep that. And against the slower decks, you don't want to be top decking Incanter's Flow. You want to draw it, you want to get value out of it, you still want to push tempo even against the slower decks, so it's definitely a good keep. Now, against aggro, what do we want to keep? Well, first and foremost, Ray of Frost, the 1-mana spell, freeze a minion if it's already damaged or already frozen, deal 2 more damage. Removes pretty much any of the 1-drops that Demon Hunter likes to play. The 1-mana 2/2. It deals with the neutral 1-mana 2/2 that like Hunter and Demon Hunter play. And it's just overall really good at stabilizing. You can slow down a big Edwin, all of these things. Just very versatile, good, solid removal or stall. Definitely worth keeping. Next, you want to keep Flame Ward. Yeah, you don't want to be greedy and just hope to get Ancient Mysteries into Flame Ward, which is obviously great. But if you know it's a flood deck that's going to be aggro-based, you need that Flame Ward. You need to clear the board on 3 or coin it out on 2 to not take too much damage. Because chip damage adds up quickly, and especially with Demon Hunter, every turn they're pushing damage. And if you let that escalate too quickly, you're dead. You're just going to die. So you have to be proactive about that. So if you know it's aggro, you need to keep Flame Ward. And lastly, if you have a couple of good early game cards, like Ray of Frost, like Flame Ward, like Learn Draconic, like any of the aforementioned cards, you can feel free to keep Apex's Blast, the new epic spell, 5 mana, deal 5 damage, summon a random 5-drop if your deck contains no minions. So the reason you want to consider keeping it is because you need to keep up to an extent with the aggressive decks with tempo. And what better way to do that than remove a threat and generate a 5-drop? You might high roll it, hit Earth Elemental. You might get a Rush minion. You might get something to help you. Or you might get absolute garbage and it sucks. But it's removal, it's tempo, it helps you fight in the early game. And if you already have a decent mulligan to begin with, it's definitely worth keeping. Now, against the slower decks, what cards do we want to keep? Well, Arcane Intellect. 3 mana, draw 2 cards. You are limited in card draw in this deck. We have Ancient Mysteries, we have Intellect, and that's about it. So you need to cycle your deck against the slower decks. You need to find your Reno. You need to find your power creations, your board freezes, your value cards. And Intellect gets you there. And against the slower decks, they're not pressuring you. So you're going to have time. So against like Warlock, Galakron Warlock, against a Priest deck, against a Reno Mage, it's fine to keep. But yeah, against anything aggressive, fast, don't keep it. It's greedy. You're going to die. It's going to sit in your hand. You're never going to have time to play it. Next, this is, if it's an Albatross deck, you're expecting them to put some bad luck birds into your deck. You want to keep Font of Power, the 1-mana spell that if you have no minions in your deck, you get 3 random minions. If you don't play this early and you get birds in your deck, it's not really that great. You're only getting 1 minion. So you keep it early, you get some value, and it's also a good way to fight for board. You might get some random spells off of it, a random minion, like Discovering a Dragon, spell damage, who knows? So I definitely keep it, only if I know it's an Albatross deck, so basically if it's Galakron Warlock. And lastly, you keep a 10 mana card in your opener against any slow deck. That's right, you keep the amazing Reno. His board clear effect is very important, but also the value you get from the random spells he casts. Again, it can screw you, but on average, a spell is in your benefit. And you need to find that card against Galakron Warlock, against the slower control decks, because you're not going to be able to keep up. You're going to have to get a little bit of luck, a little bit of fortune, but that clear can be absolutely vital in your success. So, believe it or not, you keep the 10 mana card, but only if you're certain it's the slowest of slow matchups. So that's the mulligan guide. What are the deck replacements? What if I'm missing a certain card from the list I've highlighted here that you can throw in? So first is Rolling Fireball. This is an epic. I recently added it to my list and it's been doing great because it's just fantastic against the aggressive token based decks. Like, they play the glowworm thing that Druid does. You wipe out a bunch of tokens. It wipes out a bunch of Demon Hunter minions. It wipes out a bunch of Hunter minions. And it can also kill the big demons, like the Ragnaros for 7 mana that Demon Hunter has. It's a 6/7. It dies to Rolling Fireball, and that is very relevant. But what if you don't want to craft this card? What if that's not what you're worried about? Well, you want more value? You can add Deep Freeze. The card's great. in terms of value. And if you're facing like a lot of OTK Demon Hunter, that card is the nuts against them. You freeze their face, and then you put Water Alleys on the board, and it will constantly freeze them. That's why I originally had it in the deck. It did really good in that matchup, but I found that matchup to be a lot less prevalent, and aggro to be a lot more common, and Deep Freeze is typically the best you're going to cheat it out for is 7 and 6, and it doesn't have a direct impact other than freezing one minion. I just find it too slow. But if you have that card, you can throw it in, and I think that would be a suitable replacement. If you want to replace Magic Trick, you're not a huge fan of that, you could sub in some Fireballs, Frostbolts. Frostbolt's basically if you want some more consistent early game removal, and Fireball if you want that extra reach against certain decks. I don't really recommend it. Magic Trick has been really good for me, but I thought I'd throw that out there since it wasn't in the original list. I see people not running it, but I honestly feel it's core to the deck, so only if you really want to put those cards in and you don't want to put Magic Trick. And lastly, one of the common questions I guess I get asked is, what can I replace the Amazing Reno with? And honestly, nothing. The card's just core. I don't recommend cutting the card. It sucks it's in Wing 4 of the Adventure, but Adventures are great value. You get a bunch of content. You can get it with in-game gold. I recommend maybe if you can, save your gold, unlock the Wings of the Adventure. There's so many other good cards in the Adventure. Just try and hold out for it. It's such a good card in the deck. It's absolutely core, and I just can't recommend a replacement. Now, lastly, what are some of the budget options? Well, Evocation is one of the only legendaries in the deck, and it's certainly not even core to the deck. You sometimes get some good value. You might get an extra clear, some burn, but overall, I've actually found it to be quite underperforming. If you just want to add like burn options, Fireball, Frostbolt, you want to add Deep Freeze, go for it. The card's good, but I don't think it's amazing in the deck. So it's a legendary, and it's not one that really goes into a lot of other decks. Maybe Reno Mage might run it, but yeah, give it a thought, give it a look. But if you want to replace it for something else, yeah, go ahead. And the remainder of the decks is basically common and rares. We already mentioned Rolling Fireball, which is one of the epics, and the other epic is Apex's Blast, which is, well, why we're playing the deck, right? We're not running minions, so we can get a random 5-drop. So I wouldn't really recommend cutting it. It's slightly core. So basically, the budget option is Evocation or Bust. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the guide. Hope this information helps you out on your games on ladder with SrA+yvA. I'm loving the deck. It's super fun to play. I've highlighted a game that should highlight the overall strategy of the deck, give you some good plays to fall on. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I'm more than happy to answer questions in the comments, so let me know down below. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. There will be more deck guides to come, especially. I will start playing some other stuff, I promise. But until then, I'm going to keep slamming SrA+yvA. It's really fun, and I don't care. Have a great day, everyone. And stay salty, my friends. Rogue should do it. If you play like a control warrior, you could do it. But yeah, Rogue should shit on it. And I think Warlock. Can Warlock fatigue them? Probably not. Throw a box. There's nothing I want to cut. And I don't think box is good. Damn, I was hoping to get a Flak Mage. These are terrible. Unlucky. It's been the Spell Druid mostly, and they always have coin, they always have overgrowth, and they always have Kael'thas on curve. And I always complain about it. Some things just never change. Imagine playing a random deck without box. I like to live that way sometimes, you know? Ooh. Board freeze or random? My hand is so bad, I kind of want more random. I want more random. You got here. The games have been okay. I think as long as we don't face Demon Hunter, we get to play Hearthstone. Win or lose, it still doesn't feel as frustrating. Like, I lost the last game, and even though we all know how much I hate Demon Hunter or Rogue, I still didn't find it as frustrating. Because I still feel like it's a game of Hearthstone. Whereas against these other decks, I just don't. I'm going to play this because I don't see what I'm doing with it. Maybe Blizzard with it? I don't know. I feel like this game is all about trying to get to my thing. And he might make him play bad. Which is always a hope. Like, he can Soul the Forest this. It is what it is.
Aggro decks are some of the hardest.
Jesus, Corey, what are you doing? 5 more gifted subs. Actually insane. How many is that? Wow.
Aggro decks are some of the hardest.
Hino National, Ace Charge, Hulk Hogan HS, Leandor, and Don Quixote. Enjoy the gifted subs. Corey is out of fucking control. That is nuts. You exist solely to please? Well, that is above and beyond, dude. Holy shit. That is absolutely above and beyond. Thank you.
Aggro decks are some of the hardest decks to play in Hearthstone.
They truly are. Alright. I'm gonna kill one. I wanna get cards out of my hand. Make him think it's not ward. But goddamn, that's 45 gifted subs from Corey this month alone. How many is that total? I don't even know. Let's take a look. He drew both Soul the Forests, of course. 62 total. Again, if you got a gifted sub from Corey, please give him a thank you. This guy apparently draws double Soul the Forest. What an actual god. I need to RNG him. Or just get a Blizzard. That works too. I got 5 mana to work with. Think I Nova and then Evocation. Oh my goodness. I really want a lot of this shit. What do I take? The minions don't do anything. Maybe I just take the explosion and just draw some cards here. Yeah, it's super huge. Yeah, it's super good. Okay. We have another evocation, so it's fine. Thank you so much, dude. That is absolutely insane. Yeah, that's fine. I don't really care. I think we just double freeze here. Actually, we can get some minions here. I don't think I'm worried about dying. Let's get some minions. This is pretty good. Because I'll be able to tempo it out. Because yeah, I'll be able to tempo that up pretty good. So, both souls are gone. But he still has, like, Kel'Thas and a lot of buffs, so... And we only have 1 natural board freeze left in our deck. But we have double Fireball. Like, I've teched for this deck a good amount now. You're highly involved with Zeddy and another streamer and by a fire favorite. Well, you got good taste, because Asmo's a hell of a dude. You got good taste. at least with the Asmo part. I don't know about myself, but you got good taste with the Asmo D. I've had my issues with him. We mostly on my own end, but it's been really nice that it seems like that's you know, it's all in the past now. And it was all my fault, like 1,000% over. Asmo bans people too easily. Then you haven't been watching my stream for long enough. I'm definitely worse than him in that regard. Like, infinitely worse. I want to save this Blizzard. Yeah, we're all good. I can't really get cards out of my hand. Yeah, he VIP'd me yesterday. That was very nice of him. Like, this looks like an easy Blizzard, but I don't know. It's probably an easy Blizzard. Do I like the meta? I like it when I don't face Demon Hunter. I still feel like Demon Hunter is just too overtuned. I don't get to play the Giant the turn I Reno, though. That's the only problem. Alright, go say hi to Asmo. I just feel like Demon Hunter, it's not a fair game when I face Demon Hunter. That's all. You've added the best Omega wheelchair? Alright, I'll have to refresh. But no, I mean, the meta's okay. There's a lot of different decks. It's just when I face Demon Hunter, I just feel like it's not fair. Just feel like it's not fair. Alright, so he just spent 4 mana on nothing? Doesn't get the excess mana for that. He gets it for that, though. But the excess mana is the card that costs 0. He must have the Twin Spell still. If he doesn't play the Twin Spell, I'm not Renoing, obviously. Nice. So we can literally just sit back here. We want to dump some cards. I don't want to develop at all. I wish I could make this 0, but I'd have to play this, and I don't want to do that. And I don't want to develop... I want to play... Oh, man, I want to make that 0, but I'd literally have to throw that away. There's no way it's worth... Oh, there we go. Okay. That's worth. There we go. I like that. You're 9-1 in Legend? Nice. I mean, we're still slightly positive, right? It's not that bad. We're slightly positive. Alright, he's going all in, and then we win. Why not the Giant? I want to play the Giant when I Reno, so I develop. I'm planning on Renoing, right? So I'd just literally be throwing it away. It's why I threw the Ray of Frost away, so I can make this 0. So I get the tempo play. Because he's, like, look at this. He's completely committing everything. And then I can Reno Giant, and then if he doesn't develop much, I can play the Avalanche, or I can just look for an answer. But now I get this swing. Thresh Daddy, thank you for the follow. Yeah, any card that didn't start in your opener. Well, he's in fatigue now. What is he doing? Is he run Cthulhu? Mecha'thun? Is he a Mecha'thun gamer in Wild? Or is he's playing Glowfly Swarm? Okay. So Frost Nova's the game. Unlucky. Okay. These suck. That's good. He's a lot of 0 mana spells, though. Maybe just take the Icicle. What a disaster. These are all so bad. Yikes. He still has too many 0 mana spells left. I think I just go for 6 drops here. So, what do I want? I could take the Icicle. I mean, I always win the fatigue game, so... yeah. Ignore your ramblance. It's hard, man. Well, we got one noble. No, we don't. Eye for an eye and repentance. Probably the worst two.
Well played.
Is he giving up? Because he can't kill me. I'm at 42.
Can't win them all.
Alright. Yeah, those spells are actually just horrendous, but then he got a random taunt. But I don't think he could have killed me. He had 10 on... oh, maybe. No, he already used double power the wild. There is no way. I don't think double savage, and a lot of them only run one savage roar.